much respect to them.
Open up to questions for the student athlete. Like saying that it's just Solo.
Solo, is this as good as you felt shooting the ball and rebounding the ball for that matter since you've been here? I mean, the 7-3 is career high. Just for feeling it today.
Yeah. Well, for the rebounds, I would tell you, I was just really just playing the game and just letting the game come to me. I didn't really shoot a shot until probably like 10 minutes into the game, so I was just trying to make sure that I would just let the game come to me and not force any shots. So I think that propelled me through the rest of the game.
The three-pointer at the end of the first half, and then you run into the tunnel. It's obviously makes it a 21 point, but how much of a lift does that give you guys to be able to score in the final seconds of a half and kind of carry that momentum into the locker room?
Just like you said, it just gives you a lot of momentum going into the second half, and we had to make sure that we just kept our foot on the gas the whole time, and we kind of let off, but we just got to stick to that defensive intensity that coach is talking about every day.
You guys, New Year's Eve in Chicago and playing a team that's struggled by and large. You guys have no difficulties getting up for a game like this, right? I mean, you don't overlook any opponents. Is that a key to your team's success, really?
Yeah, absolutely not. And we knew this was a completely different DePaul team. Coaches were preparing us for the past 6 days. And I think just that preparation just helped us so much with this game in general.
Kind of off, because what's it like to be back on the court after having that big of a gap between games? Like, does it take a few minutes to kind of get back in the swing of things, or are you kind of able to just kind of jump right in?
It's a little bit of adjustment, but as much as we practice, as hard as we work, it's pretty easy once you get going. And I think that just once we figured out our 14 threes as a team, I think that just had a big effect on the game. And yeah.
DePaul made that run in the second half, and then Jane comes up with a really big block. How big was that defensive play to kind of help you guys turn them away? Oh,
it was huge, and he even had a big cut also in the second half that just set the tone for the rest of the game, and we just had to make sure that we had to go tooth and nail just to fight for the rest of the game.
Did you guys seem to be maybe a little out of sorts after Liam left the game for those first few minutes, and some turnovers and missed shots? How did that affect you guys?
Yeah, a little bit of a mishap, but it's just a next man up mentality, and we just had to make sure that we know all the work that we put in practice, that everyone is prepared. We make sure that the next man up is always ready.
And else for Solo? Let him go back to the locker room. Questions for Coach?
Yeah, how was this?
Yeah, so we'll get the MRI tomorrow. We'll see what that looks like. Hopefully it's just a sprain, and we don't know much.
Ankle or knees?
Ankle.
Right,
Yeah.
right ankle, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right ankle, yeah.
Right ankle.
Dan, in the first half, what allowed you to kind of limit DePaul offensively?
I thought we did, just a pretty good job at just, guarding the three-point line, and I think even though they were 2 for 10 at halftime. I felt, for the most part, they were semi-contested. I think we might have given up, 1 or 2 that maybe they should have made. But I thought we were pretty disciplined, with what Kamani preached on the lead up to this in terms of guarding the three-point line, and so we limited the attempts a lot better than we've done. And I think also too, I think people have shot above the mean, normal. So maybe we're going to have teams not shoot that great against us for the foreseeable future. Maybe our Ken Pond luck will start to go up or down. I don't know what it's supposed to be, down and up.
Coach, obviously you mentioned that there's kind of a change in culture here, but what surprised you most about this DePaul team that maybe you weren't expecting going into the game?
I mean, just watching the film. I mean, we knew it. I mean, watching the Wichita State game at home here, and just looking at their players. I mean, they're like serious players. I mean, these are older players. Meyer, is like an excellent college player. Enright, I mean, like that guy's like a Tim Tebow out there at point guard. Like you could see Gunn's improvement and talent and what he could become here, in this program. And Blocker's a dog. He plays hard. I mean, Rivera. I mean, serious team, and you can see that there's a culture and a standard that is significantly, significantly different, and you better come in here ready, or they're going to beat people obviously here, and they're going to win games in our league this year.
How big was the block on Jaden had after they cut it to 7?
That was a huge block. I think and we need that from him. Our defense is not what it's been. He's the type of player that could help us kind of, if we could get him into the 20 minutes a game range with his length and athleticism on the perimeter, he could be a stopper type like we've had with Castle, like we've had with Andre Jackson. We need his offense to come along a little bit that way, but that was a huge play. I thought his finish on the baseline was a huge play. But he's part of the reason why we were able to guard the line a lot better, his length.
Do you like what Mahaney gave you too? He had a nice pass to Jaden.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. I mean, just that sequence, I thought we were playing really, really well, starting to resemble, like the team that's played the last couple of years. And then the combination of three things, what DePaul did and what they're all about and their character that they're building. And then like Liam hurting the ankle, and then Hassan getting the third and fourth fouls kind of quickly. Took two real key players for us, and at that point it was survival mode. Yeah.
Solo rounding into a more better, well-rounded player, just with the rebounds, even he took the ball before a few times today.
Mm-hmm.
Just defensively too, he's getting better and better.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see some things on defense. I think where he was beaten off the dribble. The coach, man. So much of what we're going to become is based on how these sophomores develop. So I've said that a bunch. Solo, he's going to have games where he makes 5, 6, 7 threes like this. This is not, that's not surprising. We need his development as a guy that can put on the floor, play off a shot fake, play off a lag dribble. People are be running at him at the line, and as a straight line driver, he has the athleticism to now start being able to attack the rim with force. So Solo's got big upside. We bet heavy on him. We got to make sure we get Jaden Ross and Jalen Stewart. Jalen Stewart missed, he missed the 4 days, after Butler. Obviously we were off, and then he missed, 2.5 days with pink eye. We couldn't get the pink eye under control. So, he wasn't where he needed to be, but we're going to need him against Providence with Liam likely to be out for some time.
Dan, what challenges does only 13 games of film on DePaul provide for you? Because they return 0 minutes. CJ, I believe, is the only player who has familiarity playing UConn. Can you kind of go from a scouting aspect of what changes for you only with a small sample size?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with, with Chris too and their staff, and they got a great staff over there, is that they've got different wrinkles from game to game. They're adding different actions. They're running wrinkles off different actions. He's an excellent coach. So we guarded the 3-point line. So they just stopped running their stuff and just started driving us. They're just a well-coached team. And you go on the road and you win by 13 in league anywhere. You feel good about that.
You mentioned fouling a little bit too much, but overall you feel like your defense is taken strides since the early part of the season, and then where do you guys still need to grow?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I thought we did a much better job of off the ball awareness guarding the 3-point line. But then it's like the finger, in the wall with the leaks, and so today it was just get beat off the dribble, have people strong hands, losing the edge, instead of getting vertical and just making them make tough twos, we then got undisciplined. So, but that's where we're at. We're barely at midway point. We're relying on 3 sophomores and a freshman that I think will continue to develop through January and February. And I think offensively, we really shoot it and we pass it, and I think we're a really good offensive team. I think we have championship potential as an offensive team. But if our defense and rebounding doesn't get there, then we're not going to win any championships.
Anything else for Coach?
Happy New Year.
Thanks, Dan.